It's a big bank.
It's too big. That's what she said.
Horror movies, mutilation, decapitation, torture. Does that sound entertaining? More blood than a blood bank. Have we got your attention?
Welcome back, terrestrials, to the Quarantine Movie Reviews. In this episode, we're doing Hell or High Water. It came out in some year.
2016.
There you are. So, you know the drill at this point. The description or the plot line is in the description of the video. And we follow a formula, so let's get into it. Who's your favorite character?
I have a hard time with that. Okay, we got Jeff Bridges, we got Chris Pine, and we have Ben Foster. Mm-hmm. Three really strong characters in this movie. I'm going Ben Foster. Ben Foster, I feel, as he's the older brother, right?
Yes.
The older brother really has this beginning, middle, and end in the movie.
Okay.
And it's not different characters, but it's just more entertaining.
Right.
So,
yeah.
He is my show stealer. Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine both do an amazing job in this movie, but he just kind of stole the show for me.
All right, that's fair.
Yep.
I think I'm going to go with Jeff Bridges' character, Marcus. Mm-hmm. I like that character. I like that Sam Elliott, Jeff Bridges, just old-timer kind of lawman ranger that's just like, this is how it is.
No.
Let's go get these guys. Like, that southern slow, they say everybody moves slower in the South. Well, for Showbreaker, I've got the older brother, Tanner. What a white-ass name. Tanner? Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner's got his boat shoes on. He's going to go down to the dock and get on the boat. But yeah, the older brother, man, he's just... you come to like him a little bit, but he does some really cringe-worthy things. Specifically to the hooker in the casino. That was like it was fucked up, so I couldn't really get over that. But outside of that one thing, he's a great character. But for that reason, he's the showbreaker to me.
Yeah.
Because everybody's fucking good in this.
Yeah,
There's really no showbreaker for this, to be honest with you. But if I had to pick one,
my showbreaker is actually gonna be the soundtrack / score in this. I feel like nobody was on the helm. You have those musical swells, violins and tense music for when moments are, and then to get a transition shot, they throw a bit of popular music, not pop music, but music that you would hear in Texas.
right?
And I feel like if they would have just picked one band or one type of visionary, it would kind of pieced it together to where you would hear, the similarities, but there always felt like these breaks in the soundtrack. But
Okay.
smacks of the pulpit, basically, small fries.
So let's move on to notable effects. Did you see any notable effects in this movie?
Yeah, some nice, not good, not perfect fire. When he lights that fire can, it looks nice. Except he gets gasoline all over his hand, and then the rag just catches on fire. Doesn't catch his hand on fire. But the gunshots, I will say, all of the bullet wounds, we will say, look really good. The driving stunts, just going fast down a road is a lot harder than what you would think, especially on one of those long highways, and film it, And I thought those, so the stunt people and the CGI people, they did a really good job. The fire is my only that looks kind of weird.
Yeah, notable effects. I think that The fire, where he dumps it on his head. No, but the fire that Jeff Bridges and his colleague roll up on, where
with the cows.
Yeah, there's a huge, massive field fire, miles and miles. They're like burning this field, not on purpose, but it's burning, and these cowboys are moving their cattle from one side to the other and stuff. That whole scene was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation was amazing, but that fire and the smoke and everything else looked really, really good. If they didn't accidentally actually set a field on fire, then those dudes should probably get an award, because that shit looked good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk cinema. Wow. What do you got?
Yeah, this movie has some beautiful shots of Texas. Anything from landscape to just like grimy parts and small, desolate cities. A camera operator knew like where to put the camera. It wasn't like filtered grain, so there's no like digital messing with color in the picture.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. It is a beautiful movie, and the cinematography works to make you feel and understand the movie. These are cowboys with no prospects, and you see it and you feel it through the camera work as they ride through towns. You see foreclosures, just a town that's just fallen on hard times. They present that to you very, very well. Almost a little too in your face, but it drives the point home. The shots of the open land, and again the storm, the fire, all those shots are beautiful. They did a great job with those. So I really enjoyed the cinematography in this.
Yeah. It was a beautiful movie.
What is your quotable line?
I got two of them. One is more serious. The other is just a hokey, funny line. My quotable line comes, they're in a casino, right? And the one character, his name is Bear. Bear says, "I am a Comanche. Do you know what that means? It means enemy to everyone." And then Tanner says, "Do you know what that makes me? A Comanche." Now, I like that line. I like the delivery from Tanner. I thought it was just nice. But then my funny one, which I kind of am enjoying a little bit more, is "What don't you want?" What don't you want? They're in a crappy little restaurant where everybody orders the same thing. So therefore, what don't you want? Because everybody orders the same thing, and they don't want green beans or corn. And I don't know, I just kind of like that line.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great quotable line.
What don't you want?
I would just like to take a quick second before I start throwing out my quotable lines. This movie was extremely well written. For something that didn't have to focus on dialogue so much because of the bank robberies and all the drama going on, they nailed pretty much every conversation in this movie. But with that being said, you've got two sassy waitresses in this movie. Both waitresses are great. One's played by the lady that played Kenny Powers' ex-girlfriend in Eastbound and Down. I don't know her name. But so my quotable line is, Toby and Tanner are sitting in the diner, and they're talking about, like, their regrets and everything throughout their lives, and how Tanner just got out of prison, just got out, fresh out. And Toby says, "Well, why did you agree to do this?" And Tanner says, "Well, 'cause you asked, little brother." That just shows the bond of this family. Like, no matter how screwed up one or the other may have been in the past or is now, it's just a great line. It sums up a lot very simply. And the other one is when they are in the casino, the cringy moment that I spoke of earlier. Tanner forcefully puts a poker chip in the crotch of a prostitute, and after Toby like rips him off of her, and he goes, "What the hell's wrong with you? How have you stayed out of prison this long?"
Yeah.
And Tanner goes, "It's been hard, little brother." Like, you know, it was a funny little thing to lighten such a disgusting moment.
Yeah.
And lastly, the ending of this movie.
Yeah.
After all is said and done, dust is cleared, Jeff Bridges comes to Toby's farmhouse, and they have an exchange where Jeff Bridges basically says, like, "I'm the one that killed your brother. I know you were involved, and I can't figure out how, but, you know, I'm going to. I've got nothing else to do. I'm retired now. You know, I'll figure it out." And, you know, he makes a statement about, well, this is a nice place you got here. And Toby proceeds to tell him, "This isn't my place. This is my ex-wife's place. This is my kid's place. I rent a house downtown. You can come see me there, and maybe I'll give you the peace you're looking for." Referring to the fact that, you know, Jeff Bridges' character's partner is killed in the movie, and he can't figure out why or how Toby did this, so he can't be at peace.
Yeah.
And he's basically threatening to kill him. And Jeff Bridges looks back and goes, "Well, maybe I'll give it to you." That like exchange right there was just, you know, when you have the opportunity to threaten somebody without threatening them, it is so much fun.
Yep.
I jump at every chance. So those are all. That's the whole movie. I just gave you the whole movie in quotable lines, but
At least the ending.
yeah. Well, hey, no, it's not. I mean, that's not the big reveal or anything. They're
What
both,
would be the no.
the brothers are gay. Anyways, so let's move on to that one moment.
Yeah. That moment is there's a small scene. Blink and you miss it. But like I said, they do great like shots of Texas here and there. And one shot, we have a sunset, and you get to see the two brothers just kind of horsing around, be brothers. You know, yes, these are bank robbers. These are bad guys, okay? But it's a slow down moment. You get to see their humanity in one little shot. Like I said, blink and you miss it. Mm-hmm. And I like that scene because we do get to see human, you know, and instead of like, you know, just bank robbery, eating, you know, chicken fried steak in a diner, you know, bank robbery, you know, no, casino. Mm-hmm. You just get a nice little moment. And that's what I liked about it.
All right. That is a good one. That is the only part of the movie where I went, really?
Yeah.
You're doing this. But it serves its purpose and it's good. So for me, that one moment is the gas station. The brothers, Tanner and Toby, pull up to the gas station. Toby goes inside. Tanner's sitting in the passenger seat. And I'll turn sideways so maybe you can see a little bit better. But he's sitting like this. He looks like he's dead.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there.
And he's got sunglasses on.
And he's got sunglasses on. And this Charger pulls up. And it's like lime green brand new Charger. And it's playing metal. Not good metal, by the way. Like Avenged Sevenfold type metal. This guy pulls up and immediately just starts going off on Tanner. Like, "Hey, man, you got a problem? What the fuck you looking at?"
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And Tanner replies back, you know, like, "Boy, you'd think there's 10 of me."
Yeah.
Or some shit like that. Just some real cool shit. And the guy pulls out a gun and he starts, like, hanging it off the side of his car. And he's like, you know, "What now? What now, big man?" And he, like, goes to get out of his car, I think. Or no, Toby, like, just shows up. Pulls the door open, like slaps the gun out of his hand and just beats the shit out of this guy. You don't see him you see him hit him one time, and then the rest is implied on the ground. But it is such a good scene because it shows you that these brothers are goal oriented. They have something that they're focused on. They're not taking shit from anybody, and they're not letting anybody stop them. And even Toby gets in the car and goes, he could have killed you. And he was like, he wasn't a killer.
Yeah.
Like, just, I wasn't concerned, but, so that's my, my one moment. Should we skip the score soundtrack for this movie? Because, you did mention it.
Yeah, I would skip it.
And I agree.
I'm not a fan of it. I would say that would probably be my one downfall from it.
All right, well, let's move on to Meat and Potatoes. What do you got?
If we look at this as a drama movie, just a straight drama, I would say Meat over Potatoes. Okay. If we look at it as a blend of action and drama, I would say a little bit more potato over meat.
So for me, as far as meat and potatoes go, I would go meat with a good helping of potatoes. But all the potatoes were completely necessary. There was very little that was just like, they could have cut that out. And I definitely saw this movie as a Western. It feels Western. Not just because of the landscape and the setting, but it feels very Western-y to me.
Did you get your money's worth?
Oh, fuck yeah. I love this movie.
I will...
money's worth 100%.
Yeah. Like, compared to the last couple of just like randoms pick movies and stuff, I would probably say that this is probably one of the top on my list.
Baytown Outlaws. He didn't care about that.
The Bay City Boy Town Outlaws?
Yeah. The Bayou Boys?
Yeah, the Bayou Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's how you do Southern right, this, and how you do Southern wrong.
Well, this movie's more stylized. Baytown was more grindhouse, so,
it was a grind to get through, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, so anyways, I got my money's worth. You got your money's worth. So let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's a great fucking movie. Go watch it. Give it stars.
All right. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
I'm going to give it 4 stars as well. There you have it. Like, subscribe, share, and go watch Hell or High Water. We'll see you next time.